Welcome to the Court of Bookish Queens, a podcast where mother, daughter, and intruder dive headfirst into the world of romantasy, sharing our unfiltered thoughts, bold opinions, and theories so wild they might need legal representation.
I'm Juliet. I'm the daughter, romantasy addict, and CEO of Falling for Fictional Men.
I'm Helen, the mother, trained legal counsel, romantasy lover, and fully here for the drama.
And I'm Melissa, the intruder, uninvited romantasy novice, but oh, do I have opinions. So, listeners, adjust your crowns and remember, in this court, chaos isn't just welcome, it's the dress code. With that, court is now in session. Hello, and thank you for joining us on today's episode where I will be covering House of Flame and Shadows chapters 65 through 84 by Sarah J. Maas. But before we dive into the episode, please listen carefully to our content warning. While we will be focusing our discussion on chapters 64 through 84 of CC3, we are going to be bringing in themes, foreshadowing, and lore from across the series. So yes, this episode is spoiler central for the entirety of the Crescent City series. These deep dives, however, do not have spoilers for the rest of Sarah J. Maas's series. So, if you haven't read the entirety of the Maasverse, feel free to leave once we give our spoiler warning, or stick around for Throne of Glass and Akatar Kala. Last thing, if you're loving being part of the court, if you're enjoying these deep dives, then please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and listen to us on Spotify and follow us on TikTok and Instagram, or why not all of them? So with that, let's get into it.
Okay, so previously on Hofas. So in our last episode, we had Bryce and the crew arrive in Avalon. Lydia and Rune finally had a moment together and we all freaked out. Hunt and Bryce learned tons from the Princes of Hell, and then we witnessed the deaths of two Fae kings. So for today, we have a lot to talk about. A lot. Our main topics are Ithan helps Hypaxia create an antidote to the virus that's in the water. Bryce and Hunt go to the Northern Rift with Ember and Randall, Bryce's parents. Ithan tries to warn the wolves of what's coming and ends up leaving as Prime. Shocking. Therion and his new bride meet with the River Queen. The Hammer intercepted the Depth Charger and took Lydia's sons. Bryce makes a trade of sorts with Nesta. And lastly, Ithan and Hypaxia visit the Underking. So those are our topics for today. I think we should start with Ithan. So we know that Ithan tries to give the wolves a heads up about the incoming chaos, but things go sideways fast. The Prime is slayed by Sabine after he publicly named Ithan as the next Prime. Sabine also finds her end, and both their souls get sucked out by our favorite Reaper, Sigrid. And that whole scene ends with Amelie and her sister Perry bowing down to Ithan.
Okay, I have something to say. Ithan goes to try and convince the wolves to make, what's her name? Sigrid, their leader, who is a Reaper. It's crazy to me. But it's just, to me, Ithan just makes the wrong calls all the time. It's like, hey, Ithan, the world is about to end. No, I gotta go talk to Connor. No, I gotta go talk to Sigrid. What are you doing? Ugh.
Also, no, I have to go resurrect every single person that is already passed.
He always needs closure, that's for sure. You know what?
Yeah.
Ithan does keep making wrong decisions, but it's a different kind of, issue that we have with Rune. Yes, he's also immature, but it's almost endearing when he does it. But one thing that I enjoy about this turn of events with Ithan is that he gets to be Prime, but he doesn't want it.
Yeah, Ithan is not someone who has shown that he's power hungry, and he's always led by this moral compass, which at times I think, we get frustrated by, because he just makes these weird decisions.
Oh my gosh. I agree. Is he going to be a great prime? Yeah. Like, I think I always knew from reading this he was going to be prime. When Sigurd came on the
Me
page, I thought
too.
it was going to be her. That's the line that's going down that line, and he'll be, it's not the alpha. What is it? The one right below? Like, he'll be her. You know how Danica was the alpha, and then Connor was her second hand, right?
Second.
Beta? I don't know. I don't remember the
I don't
word.
know, but I thought it would be that, but I digress. Obviously, that didn't happen. So when that didn't happen, I'm like, Ethan's gonna be prime. I'm glad he's prime. But the decisions he makes, and you know what it is?
No,
It's a bit
I
too.
know.
It's a bit too. There's a word for it.
Self-loathing.
Self-loathing.
It
He's just
is.
so self-loathing, right? And it's like a little bit annoying at this point because it's like we have bigger problems to attend
Yeah.
to, Ethan. Snap out of it, you know?
I totally agree.
Something that I think is going to happen is the next books for CC, they're setting it up to be Ethan's story, right? So I already know that we're going to get the whole Ethan and Sigrid and her, because she's still out there, right? And we're going to get the dragon. What was the dragon's name?
Yeah, Ariadne.
Yeah, we're going to get Ariadne. But you know who we're also going to get it? You know who we're also going to get? Emily. She is Ethan's mate. She's
Wait,
Oh
Ethan's mate.
no,
Yeah.
you
no,
mean
I don't think so.
Perry?
Oh, sorry, Perry. Perry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
Perry.
okay,
Yeah.
that
yeah.
is the perfect segue because this is what I
Okay.
want to talk about.
Okay.
My question is, what do we think about how Ethan always notices Perry's scent? This is
Yes.
something we need to talk about because it goes above Ethan and Perry. It goes
Yeah.
to just all mates
Yeah.
because every time someone mentions, oh, like this person has this scent, they end up being mates. So it's like
Yeah.
there's something in their like senses or blood that's
Chemistry.
just like before
Yeah.
they know it, we know
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're able to clock their scent, it's like you know that's your person. But
Mhm.
something interesting, not just about Ethan being able to notice Perry's scent, it's also that when she took the vaccine, let's call it, that helped her get rid of the parasite, her scent changed. But then after I think a day, it changed back. Like Perry didn't smell like an omega, and then she all of a sudden smelled like an omega again. Did you guys clock
Wait,
that?
An
but did
alpha.
that happen in these
She.
chapters?
Oh, maybe it didn't. But I think we just
I
speak
don't remember.
freely. I think we speak freely, honestly, because I can't distinguish what is what at this point. Okay, listeners, so we were so excited reading these chapters 65 through 84 that we just plowed ahead and read the entire book. These episodes will span the entirety of the book. Okay? Be warned. Okay, so to answer your question, Juliet, the sense. Absolutely. I think when a character in the book is able to clock someone's scent, it's significant and means something. And my theory is that Ethan and Perry are mates. But something that I found interesting, this is like a theory within a theory, okay, is that when Perry gets vaccinated, right, her scent changes to that of not being an omega. But then when Ethan comes back the next day, her scent shifts again and she once again smells like an omega. What does that mean?
Don't
Yeah, that
know.
was kind of, I noticed that too, and it's never explained. So we'll have to wait for the next book.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to shift gears, but not too much. So we're going to talk about the antidote now. We know
Mhm.
that Bryce asks that Ethan teams up with Hypaxia to whip up the antidote for the virus that is in Midgard's water supply. I want to know if you guys were surprised to find out that Ethan has ice in him.
Oh yeah.
I was
Oh
not,
yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming either. It was amazing. It was lovely.
Um, yeah, I didn't see it coming, but once I read it, I made connections to other universes, which we can talk about at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Therion and his new bride meet the River Queen, and she surprisingly agrees to Tharion and Sathia's request to house the civilians of Midgard. The only thing that I want to talk about is the River Queen's daughter's reaction to finding out that Therion was married. I thought it was completely pathetic.
Oh, I loved every single bit of that scene.
It was so
Everything.
drama.
I loved it so much. From Sathia, the way she spoke to the River Queen, how strong and
Yeah.
elegant she
It
was.
was dignified.
Queen.
Yeah.
Oh, loved how Therion went back to the River Queen after, he defected from her court. And now he's there back asking her for a favor because of Bryce. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna
then
say Bryce made him do that.
yeah, of course. But that's how loyal he is to Bryce, right? A man that only thought about himself is now putting his court first and going back to the one place that he fled from.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazing. But then the River Queen's daughter. Do we even know her name, or is it always just the River Queen's daughter?
No, her name is unknown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
So the River Queen's daughter comes in and she goes ballistic. And I'm just like eating it up. This is so good to me. And yes, I agree. It's pathetic, but you can see how much she I don't even know if it's love, but she's just like desperately wanting to get him back. Right. And maybe that's not love. It's like maybe it's possessiveness. Who knows what it is? But the fact that Therion then goes, I'll find a way to divorce Sathia and come back to you.
My
And then
jaw
and then she
was
and
on
then
the
she says
ground.
yes. And she's like, yeah,
She,
no, that's okay. I was so impressed with Sathya first. As you said, she just like bloomed in front of the queen. And this is what actually elevated Therion to becoming a man. His balls dropped, you know? This is when he became a man. He, and watching Cynthia speak to the queen in that way gave him that courage to just stand up and say what he needed to say. It was impressive. And then I was also very impressed with the queen to understand this, to respect it, and to tell her stupid daughter to shut up and be quiet. That he's not for you.
so good. I agree, Helen, absolutely with everything you just said. And you know what? I think in the bonus chapters for the previous book, so CC2, House of Sky and Breath, the bonus chapters have a chapter with Sathya in it. And it presents her as this like really annoying, entitled character. And when I read that, I was like, I don't believe it. Because it's like a typical older brother thinks her little sister's annoying. She's just spoiled. She's just a brat. Love her as a character, and I'm so excited to get more of her. And her story seems complex. So, yeah, I'm excited. Can I just say, Hunt and Bryce, the story is done for me. I don't want anything else to happen to them. Leave them alone, okay? Let them live. If I hear about them, I want to hear about a happy pregnancy and they've had children and
Yes.
they're fine.
Yep.
I want other people in this story. I want to know about Flynn. Where is Flynn? I want to know about Ithan. I want to know about Sathia and Therion. Like, these are the characters that I'm interested in now.
Yeah. And I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but I think that it's going to be 4 books because each book so far has been named after a house and there's 4 houses. The last house is House of Many Waters. So 100% we're going to get more Therion. We're going to get more Sathia. Like, we're going to get some Colin. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I know you said you don't want to hear from them again, but Bryce, Hunt, and Ember, as we know, head up to the Northern Rift. Her parents think that Bryce is there to open up a portal between Hell and Midgard, but that's not her plan just yet. Bryce is really trying to secure a safe spot for her parents and get Nesta's mask. So, first of all, I just have to say that anytime I see Nesta's name on the page, I just start screaming. I get so excited. I'm like, yes. Like, I just think that Bryce and Nesta are the perfect duo. I'm just obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But I want to know if you guys think it was believable that Nesta only gave the mask after Bryce respected her multiple refusals, and still asked to take Ember and Randall anyway without getting the mask in return. Do you guys think that was believable of Nesta?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. No one would just outright give you the mask.
Okay, my only other question is, if you were Ember or Randall, how would you feel that your daughter did this to you without warning or consultation?
No matter how mad they might be, they know in the back of their minds that she loves them more than anything and that she's protecting them. And rightly so, because they're human. They have no powers. They
Pause.
have no way.
Pause. Because what about poor, what's his name? The kid.
Cooper.
What about poor Cooper?
But Cooper has Fury protecting him. He's fine.
I'm sorry, but that, to me, that was the worst thing Bryce did, to save her parents but not care about Cooper, who is now her brother. Why wouldn't you take Cooper as well?
No, wait. No, Cooper is in the safest place in Avalon. He's in the area where the Asteri don't go because of all the black salt.
But weren't Ember and Randall also there?
Yes, but she needs Nesta to understand how serious she is about returning the mask. She is giving Nesta, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's a trade. It's like an emotional bargaining chip. I get it, right? But what if Bryce didn't make it back? Ember and Randall would have been off in Perinthian forever, and Cooper would have been left alone. She should have taken Cooper. I'm sorry. He might have been protected, but she didn't know how it was going to end up. And that was so wrong. That I was like, how could she do that? That was
how could she have done it though? Because in their minds, she's going to open the doors of hell.
Yeah.
How is it justified to take a 16-year-old with you to go over there and open the gates of hell?
She did the best with what she could have done.
Yes.
No.
But I'd be interested in knowing what the readers think and the listeners think. What did you think about that part where Cooper got left behind? Because that was I couldn't believe it, but whatever. Okay, let's keep going.
So the last thing that I want to talk about is Ithan and Hypaxia visiting the Underking to see Connor. I know, so much happens. So Ithan and Hypaxia visit the Underking. One thing leads to another, and Hypaxia ends the Underking's life because of Jessica's sharp command. Then Ithan is able to speak to Connor, and it turns out that Connor has a gift. It's a special bullet made of second light for Bryce, and he urges Ithan to give it to Bryce. Do you guys think that Jessica planned this all along?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like she had foresight to see exactly what's going to happen, but she had every possibility listed for herself, and she took precautions for all of that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think Jessica is an amazing character. She has become one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was just excited to see Connor. Like, Connor, he's back. Yeah, when he couldn't speak at first, I was so disappointed. But then, later on he could. And
so Hypaxia is now head of House of Flame and Shadow.
Yeah.
And it seems like she didn't want to be, or it was like a shock to her.
Yeah. And there's another one, she's a queen. So she's been prepared, and she can talk to the dead, right? Yeah. So she's already connected to this house in some way or the other.
Yeah, it's very fitting. She never fit in well with the witches, right? They never accepted her. She was never really around them. She always grew up isolated from them and with her tutors who were ghosts. Whenever somebody needed a necromancer, it's like Hypaxia, and she'd come running in,
This is a spoiler warning for Throne of Glass. So if you have not read Throne of Glass, exit on out. Okay, we were talking about how Hypaxia was never really like one of the witches, at least in her heart or whatever.
Yeah.
When you look at the witches in Throne of Glass, Hypaxia is not at all, how do you describe this? In temperament, they are very different beings, even though they're witches, right? if Hypaxia is not like the Throne of Glass witches, she's probably not like the witches in this world, which makes sense for her to not be the queen of the witches because she's such an outlier. It's like she doesn't belong there, even though she is a witch technically. Yeah, so SJM's decision to move her on into this new position of power or just position is, I think, really smart. Just think of the difference between Hypaxia and Manon. They're not cut from the same cloth.
That's all because of the way that they were raised. And Manon was raised to destroy and lead, and no empathy for anybody. But she was raised completely differently. She was raised to heal and
Right.
to.
But the person that took over Hypaxia's role, Morganthia or whatever, sounds like a Manon, you know? So it just feels like Hypaxia doesn't belong with them.
Well, she's not with them anymore, so I guess it's true. And
since we're talking about Throne of Glass, we should probably talk about the Fenris thing that Melissa wanted to talk about. And then I think Mom and I wanted to talk about the stag connection.
Yeah, no, what I was saying is that when I saw that Ithan had power to manifest, it reminded me of the Fae in Throne of Glass, who had an elemental power, but also had a animal shifter in them. So I think that the wolves, and I think this has been hinted at previously in the book, don't come from Corinthian, but they come from, what's that word called?
Aralea. Everyone says it differently.
They come from the Throne of Glass world. Aralea, I'm not sure what it's called. So yeah, that's interesting. And it's like, because we've only seen a lot of like crossover with Akatar, but could we see crossover with Throne of Glass at some point later on in the book?
Well, we do, again, as you mentioned, the stag connection is there, right? Because in Throne of Glass, remember that the symbol for Terrasen is a stag, right?
Yeah.
And they mention in Throne of Glass early on that there used to be sentient stag and somehow they disappeared. Occasionally they'll get a hint of it, but they're usually hidden in some way. So here in Midgard, we have Lydia, who is a shifter. They call them deer shifters in Midgard.
You mentioned Lydia being a deer shifter, but there's also another stag reference in Crescent City. King Morven is known as the Stag King. They don't call him that often. You pick it up a few times in the whole series. So that's just another connection to Throne of Glass.
Speaking of King Morven, right? I'm just shocked that Cormac is actually unalive. I thought he'd show up by now. And I'm like, where is Cormac? Like, Cormac, where are you? I just never believed that SJM actually her characters, right? And it seems like this one is still 6 feet under.
You know what's interesting that you say that? Because Danica and the Pack of Devils, they never came back, right?
No.
But they continue to be a part of the story. It's like the moment SJM thinks of a character, she can't truly let go. It's so cool.
But this one, it's like he was gone and he was gone, never to be heard of again.
But
as far as we know,
we can be happy for him because he's finally with Sophie.
Okay, so readers, what do you think? Do you think Cormac will come back in CC4? Let us know. With that, court is now adjourned.